好，那我们就继续。我们要干嘛？我们昨天去看大船了嘛，然后现在看，应该是来看费米他们吧。
We're back! Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Sejuin.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other, so let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land.
所以
As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the... If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
哎呀，全讲了，讲船就好了。
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone, just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
他们认识。
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
这个表情是怎么回事？
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
哇，这颜色真的好漂亮！啊啊啊啊！
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
味道很奇怪。
So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
他的手套是小兔子，好可爱哦。
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nerviolet would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
啊？
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
他下来这应该上面就每天淹大水吧？就每天都很伤心的。对象已超时啥意思？掉出来了。
I'm super sleepy. Are you sleepy too? Delicious.
Out of my way! Get out of my way!
What happened? Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
猫了，
Who's yelling?
炸掉了，水出来了，大家开始融化了。
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness.
Crystal and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
他们人真好哎。
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where you go?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
我们被淹没事，
Hey, be careful!
我们被淹没事，你们被淹就拜拜了。
Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
怎么出去啊？
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
炸了，炸了，下面炸了，
Attention,
高压锅炸了。
They're here.
Just like I said.
你挡这，你确定你行？
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
你们 run 吧，不是我们吧？哇，这是什么武器？还真的是高压锅哦！天啊，那个阀门，好像水母的颜色、哦。哇！你怎么轰到了？哦，这真的好像水母的颜色哦，不过很好看，我喜欢。
3, 2, 1.
啊！哇，这样没被见到。
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
是
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
没有 us， 他是雷系的，他能帮你什么？不是你们两个上去，我们留，反正我们不会融，不是吗？我们就算泡在里面，我们都不会有事，还不会淹死、欸。哇，刚才那样子一下子都一滴都没见到，也是够厉害的。他感觉到了吧？
I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
为啥？
Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
你真是个老父亲哎。
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
那你要去干嘛？你碰到你会不会融啊？虽然你不是人就是。好奇，它会融掉吗？拓吧，哦，他们全部都是，我以为是三国的人，就全部都是那个璃月人。诶，为什么东单人都跑不见了？哦，这是每日任务。你说看愚人种。
The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
你的尾巴跟我们的西格文不一样，西格文真是一圈圆圆的小尾巴，而且不是圆圆，它是卷起来像圆圆。啊，仆人，你是完全放弃公子了，是不是？他脸红了，他脸红红的。
So you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui harbingers.
我刚才不是说莱欧斯也感觉好像认识仆人嘛，然后突然发现他们两个的头发颜色好像是反转。莱欧斯是外黑内灰，他是外灰内黑。
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
一天2块。
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
他的神之眼还亮着。
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
地震。
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
哇，又冰一层上去了。
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
他在 CG 里。
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
他猜到什么？他是知道还是不知道啊？哦，要炸要炸！水木水。哦。 啊？他用什么打？他手上那一块到底是什么？他有鳞片吗？
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
哦，果然是法师。哎，L4是知道他是水龙还是不知道他是水龙啊？ 他有猜到，但是不知道他猜的方向是不是对的，还是他早就知道了。
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
他的衣服在 CG 里面没有爆的那么开。
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
然后修过，他是不是建模改了啊？
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
而且他脸好像没那么圆。
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
你看他头发颜色跟仆人是反的啊，仆人是外灰内黑，他是外黑内灰，所以他们俩有没有可能小时候就认识？
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
我怎么觉得他建模真的改？我记得这个爆很开。
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
你真不会以为他们真的有打赌？应该没打赌。
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
哦，没改，还是很爆。当做法外之地哦，他在讽刺说这边是法外之地，所以必须给他个法典，这样子这边就不会变法外之地。
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
不是这个意思啦，哎呦。
That was obviously a joke.
没听懂，没听懂。
Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
啊？为什么？
Thank you.
是因为福宁娜，还是他就是不能离开？
I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
这眼睛真的好漂亮，像那个鱼鳍的颜色。他那句话是什么意思？是他人不能离开，还是他因为福宁娜，所以他不能离开？
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
哇，这真的好法国哦，这很像那个玛丽皇后啊，就是说为什么不吃没面包吃，为什么不吃蛋糕的那个人。
The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you, it beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
用四言一拉的去隔壁。
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
对啊，为什么不讲呢？
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
哎，又在假，他这个一听就知道，根本就不知道啊。
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
哎呀，
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the opera house. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium.
啊？你怎么注意到？
But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
搞得他好像他才是主人。
Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well, we'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
别吧， 你们家就把那个冯丽娜一个人丢在这
The tea party. Why are...
感觉真的就是什么事都是纳维莱特在做，所以他什么都不知道。我们不能把他一个人丢在这吧？他出什么事，纳维莱特？哇哦！纳维莱特把我们宰了。我卡！哇，这么大一个！跟随仆人，我没有看到仆人。我们这样跑，感觉等一下会被那个纳维莱特给宰，把弗妮娜一个人丢着跑出来。
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
是谁？是仆人吗？耶，他的手还是手套？手吗？
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
这是他的手吗？
Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
the fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
我胆子好小哦。
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Huh?
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
觉得你到最后你居然你觉得那台机器才是谁什么？
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
他们两个该不会是像那个吧？像隔壁崩铁吧？一人拿一半。
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds,
回来
I'm
了。
sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neverlet, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though.
你别笑。
You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
真假？
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
啊，下雨了。
I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
别伤心啊。
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neverlet! Neverlet, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
你会变很大只吗？
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
元素龙有哪几只啊？草的那一只嘛，那一只我没有打，就那个长得很恶心，就有杀寄生虫那个。然后特瓦林是吧？惹陀不知道是不是惹陀本来不是一颗石头吗？然后雷那边，那边有龙吗？奥奇好像没有。惹陀是吗？这惹陀本来是石头，忘记了。
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
什么意思？七神可以用元素，是因为你们也可以用元素，所以他们也能用的意思吗？
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history.
哦，你不是第一批，你是第二批，就跟那些神一样。
In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me.
哦，就是他们本来可以可能100%的操控他们所属的元素，但是因为最初的前主把他们的那个能力拿走一些，所以可能他们现在只能操控50%。 然后水神那边有另外的50%，所以他如果把水神干掉，就可以拿回100%，然后他就可以拯救预言了，耶！然后水神的主要力量应该是在神之心上，基本你把神之心钻上去就好了。
Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
所以那个仆人才会说他感觉他很奇怪，因为他其实不是他的能力不是100%，可能顶多50%而已。那就把神之心装上去就好了。神之心装上去，你应该至少可以恢复到80吧。
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
这是你的传说任务吗？
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
你跟我们聊天，你也很伤心是吗？你的语没停，李大哥。为什么用满了？我都没有做，为什么我的每日委托会满啊？无法理解。我懂了。所以因为我过了这个任务，所以我可以拿那个历练点。吓死我！我以为账号出什么问题了。哦，这什么时候接啊？我又没接这个。突然放晴了。
By royal decree.
How bold. One with the force. So.
超音装。我可以请问一下，这个跟这个有什么站点吗？根本就没有啊。
Keep up.
美乐心宝宝，小姐姐。
guess. What suit will this next card be?
你们三个真开心。
A bare teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorant in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's like...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what you should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do...
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she...
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
你去跟莱欧斯利玩吧，你们两个都好爱喝茶哦，一只猫一只狗。
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us. We should start preparing.
Oh, that's a great...
I'll help you set it up.
你到底有没有猜到卡片啊？而且这下面到底是什么？要不是西格文就都躲在那边听人家讲话吧。楼下是谁？克洛琳德吗？那女的就还是西格文？西格文在这儿，跑来厨房了。
Sejuin! Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? We're fine, but what about you guys? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervula, of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Nervulet know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Nervulet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were if you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish. So I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
他好可爱哦。耶、
Keep up.
哎，好人兄弟。
You guys are back?
Crystal! Laveroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're...
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Although whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicked.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be what?
他们两个人真好哎，这到底为什么被关进来了？
Hey, why don't we have him?
You want to cook for me?
Why not?
Keep up.
哦，那红点是那个。 忘记问西格文。西格文，
If you can find the...
好，这是官方指令而已。
Keep up.
大狗狗，大狗狗，我来了。大狗，哎，大狗在楼下。哎，哦，不是来找大狗，是来找他们俩。
Jurier?
Yeah, I was.
That's no excuse for... Huh? What's you two?
你们两个真的没在谈恋爱吗？
Junior, Levine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh, yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
一定有，欢喜冤家哎。
Jurier, the rumors about us are literally...
But it's not like I caused them by myself.
不要想办法，我们就做实了就好了。哪有那么多事啊？对吧？这个是船的，你到底要怎么让船升到海平面上去，然后不沾到任何一滴水？我知道，上面先盖盖子，就是像这样，这是船嘛，然后船的主体上面再做一层那个罩子，有没有？然后上升的时候罩子盖起来，然后等上升完成之后呢，盖子掀下来，水就会从船的边缘被挤出去，然后船面上就不会有那个开海水了。
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still all right?
We're fine for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Eudex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
然后在下面阴谋死了。
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Clorand has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies.
那我莱特应该不会因为太忙身体不好。
Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
你留在这边也不能干嘛？想去这边的海底玩。有看到拍照点，所以这边是可以出去的。不知道怎么出去。
Keep up.
他是医生哎。那他既然是医生，他不就可以帮忙吗？为什么说没有医生？那就一个医生呢？
We're back in our cell again. Or no? Beat. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but you're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Just our thoughts making Paimon get. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
公子，哎，果然公子时刻又来了。哇，他这颗神之眼好漂亮！你在哪儿？这个水不是水母水吗？好东西。哦，这颜色好漂亮。哦，大金鱼。 对啊，那水不是胎海水吗？它在胎海水里面干嘛？还是只是梦而已？哦，这样就结束了。先帮主角升个命座。好啦，那主线4.1的主线就先到这边啦。填了坑，也挖了一点点小小的坑。 第一个，公子还是不见的状态；第二个，弗妮娜到底是不是水神？那他如果是，他为什么会孬成这个样子？第三个，神之心到底在哪里？差不多这些吧，反正目前就是100%确定，那韦莱特是水龙了嘛？不是误传，不是乱猜。 然后小提在这边看小黑，你也看小黑，你也看小黑。好，这是灯光问题，大家都看小黑。好啦，那今天这边这个就先到这边吧。先找方法出去，我想要去开这个，看是不是从这边游过去。然后纳维的传说任务，我不要接着录好，要不然一次录太长。那就先到这边吧，各位拜拜。